Hi, my name is Alexandra. I currently studied abroad in the fall of 2023. My major is marketing with a sequence in integrated marketing communications, and I studied abroad at the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. For those of you who don't know where Cyprus is, you're not alone. I didn't know where it was until I got there. Cyprus is a small Mediterranean island close to the Middle East and also pretty close to Greece as well. Cyprus actually is a divided country, so half of the island is the Cypriot side and the other half is the Turkish side, so you need a passport to cross the border. So you may be asking, what is the difference between Illinois State and University of Nicosia in Cyprus? The first main difference is that you only have class once a week, but the class is 3 hours long. Majority of my classes in Cyprus didn't really give homework, but they did have either a midterm assignment or test and a final exam. Some similarities between ISU and University of Nicosia is the grading system. For example, the University of Nicosia uses a 4.0 grading system. At the University of Nicosia, there are also many coffee shops on campus, and the coffee culture is very big there. Not only this, but the campus is a lot smaller than Illinois State, but it makes it very easy to get around, especially in the very beginning when you're getting used to classes. There are 3 main buildings, which makes it really accessible to get from one building to another. The 3-hour classes aren't that intimidating though, because they do give you a 20 to 30 minute break during your classes. During the breaks, I would typically go with classmates and go grab coffee at one of our many coffee shops on campus. Next, I want to move on to what it was like living in another country for 4 months. So it's definitely very nerve-wracking to move out of the country for 4 months, but it was a very humbling and amazing experience overall. Luckily for me though, Cyprus uses euros, which is pretty similar to the USD. Not only this, but the public transportation was pretty easy to use. Unfortunately, Google Maps does not work in Cyprus, but they do have apps that you could use such as Palme or Rome to Rio. Nicosia is also a very walkable city, luckily for us, and the Mall of Ngomi is where the grocery store is, which is located 1 block away from where I lived, which is Uni Halls. The grocery store also allowed us to use their grocery carts and bring it to our apartment building to unload our groceries. Right next to our campus is a very long street called the 28th of October Street, where I spent a lot of my daily time. On that street, there are many coffee shops, the Mall of Ngomi that I mentioned previously, there are restaurants, and honestly anything that you can ask for. One of my favorite spots that's open 24 hours is this bakery called Zorba's. All around the 28th of October Street and in Cyprus in general, there are palm trees, and the weather was about 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter, which was amazing if you're from Illinois and you're watching this. I would say definitely consider the weather when you are packing for your trip in Cyprus. You don't need a very heavy jacket like you would in Illinois for the winter, so something like this would be just fine. While going abroad, since I wasn't assigned a lot of homework assignments, I was fortunately able to travel to 12 other countries when I was abroad. A couple of my favorite countries that I got to visit was the Czech Republic, Hungary, and Spain. Another common question I get a lot is, did you experience culture shock? I would say I definitely thought I would experience a lot more culture shock, but when I was traveling abroad, I definitely experienced quite a lot. For instance, a main one day-to-day that you'll realize is you can't flush your toilet paper in Cyprus. Unfortunately, in Cyprus, the plumbing is a bit more weak there, so sometimes if you flush toilet paper and a lot of it, that could cause a very big problem, so you just need to throw it away in the trash can. Another small culture shock is when you go to the grocery store, you won't find customer service as big of a thing as it is in the US. Another common thing when you're grocery shopping, not everybody speaks English, but it's not that hard to get around because there's enough people who work at the store to help you. To bounce off of this, I did have some reverse culture shock when I was coming back to the US. It was only 4 months, but when you start gaining habits such as throwing your toilet paper in the trash can every day, you kind of get confused when you come back, because I tried to start throwing my toilet paper away instead of flushing it, but I would have to stop myself and think about, you're not in Cyprus anymore, unfortunately. So I had to remember to flush again. If you really enjoy the beach like me, there are many beaches just a quick bus ride away. Cyprus is very well known for their clear waters and beautiful, beautiful beaches. A couple cities where there are amazing beaches to visit are first in Napa, which is basically a very touristy town in Cyprus, and you'll get to visit it with the program. A couple other cities on the Cypriot side to visit their beaches are Paphos, Limassol, and Larnaca, which is only 40 minutes away. The weather is so amazing in Cyprus that some people even go to the beach in December, and the last time I went to the beach was the middle of November. One of my favorite weekends when I was studying abroad was actually my weekend in Napa. We got to visit one of my now favorite beaches and one of the most famous beaches in Cyprus called Nisi Beach in Napa. It is actually also one of the most Instagrammable beaches if that's what you're into. I was able to experience one of my most memorable moments in Napa when I got to snorkel with the sea turtles. I've never been face to face with a sea turtle before, so that was definitely one of my favorite moments in Cyprus. Studying abroad has helped me academically to learn the differences between going to school in another country. That's something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was a sophomore in high school. I've been wanting to study abroad, so that was amazing to get to experience that. As far as personally, I made so many lifelong friends and connections that I couldn't be more thankful to have experienced. Along with that, I really grew a lot. I never thought I would be able to step out of my comfort zone as much as I did and really find myself. And I know a lot of people say that when they go abroad that they find themselves, but I really also never thought that I would solo travel multiple times. And I felt like I really got to learn myself and trust myself even more than I already did. And lastly, professionally and academically, I was able to have an internship with my program, so global semesters, and I had a social media internship. I will include a day in my life and some pictures and videos for you guys at the end of this video. Thank you for listening and enjoy the pictures and videos.
Can we run towards some kind of sunflowers? Whatever that means. All the good times, all the good times. 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 All of the good times never die. I always show up.